Hello and welcome into a quick emergency podcast because the Phillies make their first move of the offseason. They just came to terms on an agreement with relief pitcher Jordan Romano, who was a longtime Blue Jay, a closer for 3 years before some injury situations caught up to him. And hopefully the Phillies will get the best of Jordan Romano going forward. But of course, our emergency podcasts are brought to you by Indeed. Listeners of this show can get a $75 sponsored job credit to get your job more visibility at Indeed.com/AllCity. That's Indeed.com/AllCity. Terms and conditions apply. Need to hire? You need Indeed. And look at that lovely winter meetings graphic we have up there. But yes, Todd Zalecki was the first on it. Jim Salisbury tweeted it out a mere 36 minutes ago. I'm hearing the Phillies have immense interest in relief pitcher Jordan Romano. The deal comes out $7.75 million, a one-year deal to sign with the Philadelphia Phillies. If you're unfamiliar with Jordan Romano, he is a hard-throwing right-handed pitcher. He is a two-pitch pitcher, basically throws a slider and a near-elite velocity fastball, which he throws a lot. He splits his pitches, literally just two pitches. He throws the slider 52% of the time. He throws his four-seamer 48% of the time. You know what you're getting with Jordan Romano. The question is, can you hit it or not? His fastball velo, typically around almost the 90th percentile in Major League Baseball, and he is a big motherfather. He is 6'5", 210 pounds, and he has an elite, 100th percentile extension rate, meaning he's on top of you quickly coming off of that mound. So my personal belief is there's no bad one-year deals in baseball. I think this is a signing with immense upside here because this is a guy who has closed baseball games in his career very effectively. At the same time, he did have one arbitration year of control left for the Blue Jays, which would have cost the Blue Jays roughly around the same, $7.75 million. So the Blue Jays decided to spend their money elsewhere and maybe not bank on Jordan Romano returning to form. So the Phillies basically get him for the same amount of money the Blue Jays could have had him for, but the Blue Jays are walking away. The Phillies then are betting on a comeback, and they've shown a pretty good history here as of late, bringing in the high-velocity profile type of pitchers and rehabbing them. You can look at Jose Alvarado and Jeff Hoffman, tons of guys they've brought in that have been able to been straightened out here in the Phillies developmental pitching system, which is really, really good. So if you're familiar with the name a little bit, Jordan Romano was the Blue Jays closer from 2021 to 2023. He saved 95 games during that time, over 186 innings. He had a 2.37 ERA during those 3 years. So he was a upper to elite, bullpen arm. Now, last year was just a myriad of injuries for him. He started the year on the injured list with elbow inflammation, never really seemed to be fully healthy. He went on the IL throughout the year. He made just 15 appearances last year. His ERA was a 6.59, not really reflective of who he had been the previous 3 years. During those previous 3 years, he struck out nearly 31% of all batters that he faced. He walked guys at about a 9.2% clip, and he's a big ground ball pitcher. He got ground balls during his prime almost 43% of the time. So the Phillies are hoping they can find that again out of him. Last year, a ton of injuries. His last appearance was in May. They shut him down. We're hoping to bring him back. The elbow inflammation never really seemed to get figured out, and he did have a procedure done on the elbow. His numbers last year were down, ERA up, strikeout rate down, walk rate up. Just about everything went wrong for him. So you can chalk that up to an injury situation there. He did have the arthroscopic surgery at the end of July when he had given up there, and they never saw him again last year. But he is now a Philly, a one-year deal, $7.75 million. I think there's upside here where he can be that high-leverage guy, but coming off an injury and having to kind of discover himself again, you're going to have to earn that right. But it's a guy that you can have in the bullpen now, and if he regains form, there's a serious chance that he could elevate up the Rob Thompson trust meter. Just to show you a little bit quick graphic of Jordan Romano from MLB Savant here. He just throws 2 pitches. It's a fastball, it's a slider, and the velocity is bordering on elite. And if the elbow got cleaned up properly, the Phillies could have signed a very good bargain that turns into some gold here for them. So a lot of that last year, he didn't qualify because of the minimum innings pitched, but you can kind of see there the fastball velocity. He throws his 4-seamer up in the zone primarily with a diving slider. So there's his 2 pitches. You know what you're getting. Hopefully they become elite pitches again for him. I like this signing overall. No bad 1-year deals. Hopefully more bullpen moves come, and the Phillies can run back a really strong 4 or 5 in those high leverage spots out of the bullpen. So that's the latest out of Dallas and the winter meetings. We're going to be back tomorrow at 11 a.m. live here in the studio. And make sure you're following along with Jim Salisbury, who's down in Dallas for us. He'll be writing for you diehards on allphly.com. He's checking in on the shows, doing some social media work. So a lot happening this week in Major League Baseball down at the winter meetings in Dallas. And we'll have you covered here on PHLY Phillies podcast. Thanks for hanging out with us. Let's go, Jordan Romano. Workout for the Phils. See you soon.
We all silly like the mayor.